Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Hopkinton High School turf fields. We have Hopkinton Hillers baseball and softball here today. Tom Nappy on the call, and apologies, folks. Bit of a tough time setting up for the broadcast today. Some crazy wind occurring as we were trying to get set up, so that certainly created some obstacles. But we should have baseball and softball both live here on HCAM, and certainly happy to be with you here on this opening day. And we are in the bottom of the first inning. Hillers with a couple runners on, and this is going to be a hit. And here comes a Hiller run. That is going to make it a 1-0 game. And we'll get you caught up with all the action so far. But the Hillers striking here in this first inning. So that was Michael Sullivan hitting a double. And then Turncliffe around to score. Senseney advancing to third. So a nice start for the Hillers. And now just getting the roster and lineups as well, folks, so bear with us. We have a softball update, a 2-2 game over at the softball diamond right now, as that pitch is hit into right field. It is caught, but that's going to be a pop out, and another run will score. So sacrifice RBI flyout, and the Hillers getting things going early and often. That was Davenport, right fielder, with the sacrifice fly, and that drives in Mahan to score. So that will make it a 2-0 Hiller lead. As this is hit in the air over to left field and caught. And that was Hodney flying out. So that'll wrap up the bottom of the first. We'll head to the top of the second. It's a 2-0 Hiller lead here on HCAM. It's Hiller baseball opening day.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day, interscholastic sports in Massachusetts. This message presented by the MIAA and the Massachusetts Secondary Schools Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome back. We are in the top of the second inning. It is a 2-0 Hiller lead. Now, this game was originally on the road, but moved here to Hopkinton due to the field construction going on at Ashland. As we have Grunbaum coming up to the plate. Right now I'm just working with last names here, trying to get the full team down, folks, so bear with me. Out there on the hill for the Hillers is Nick Kramus. There's a strike. So you got Jared Grunbaum at the plate for Ashland. As this is hit up the right side, and it is going to be a catch by the second baseman for the out. So nice play there to get the first out of this top of the second. There's a strike. Good news from the softball game. Hillers have taken the 3-2 lead. So things looking good for Hillers softball. Looks like they're certainly going to have some great hitting this season as they return a number of very talented athletes. And this is hit in the air. That's going to drop for a hit, roll all the way to the fence. And just like that, that's a double. And on base, that is number 1, Ian McCoggan for Ashland. Clockers trying to get some runs going. So let's take you around the diamond for the Hillers. You have Noah Kramus on the hill, Calvin Mahan behind the plate, Michael Sullivan at first base, Gabe Cavazzo at second base, Carter Moore the shortstop, Hodney at third base. From left to right, you have Ryan Lang, Matt Pedroli, and Daniel Davenport in right field. And it looks like a hit batter, so that's going to put 2 on with 1 out. Ashland in business as they attempt to rally here in this top of the second. It was Montross who got hit by the pitch, so now you got McCoggan at second base, Montross at first, and Clark at the plate. And he's going to put this one on the ground, throw to first. Did they get him? No. They're going to say he beat it out, so showing off the wheels there. And just like that, it is bases loaded. Coming up to the plate now is Turncliffe. He has a good bases loaded opportunity with 1 out. Hiller softball update. Now 4-2 in that game. Hillers on top. We also have that game live for you. We have the video stream. There's a pitch in there for a strike. Austin Turncliffe at the plate. Bases loaded. And that one fouled off. It's going to make the count 0-2. Turncliffe battling at the plate. That pitch outside, good stop. The catcher. Of course, you got Mahan behind the plate, and certainly very reliable. This is hit in the air, and that is foul. So that'll keep the count at 1-2. He winds and deals. A little high there. And this is going to be hit up the right side, and unable to make a play on it is the second baseman. Everybody's going to be safe, and a couple runs are in to score. And just like that, we're knotted at 2 apiece. So the Clockers tying things right back up. And this inning continues with just 1 out. So on that Turncliffe hit, McCoggin and Montross score. Clark to third base, Turncliffe to second. You got Connery at the plate. He puts this up the right side. Little bobble by the second baseman. Picks it up, throws the first, gets the big out. And both runners will stay put. So that's going to be out number 2. As the Hillers look to escape with no further harm here in this top of the second. Hitter there, first hitter in the lineup. Now you have Oliver LaRue, the first baseman. Here's a strike. So the batting order for Ashland. Connery, the third baseman, started things off. LaRue, first baseman, hits second. Chris Braddock, the pitcher, hitting third. Then you have the shortstop, Schresner hitting fourth. Brunbaum, left fielder, fifth. Coggin, center fielder, sixth. Montross hitting seventh. He's the designated hitter. Clark, the second baseman, hitting eighth. Turncliffe, right fielder, hitting ninth. Wind up and the pitch. Check swing. And it looks like he was able to hold there. 1-1 the count. Two and one count now. And this is going to be hit right back up the middle. Throw over by the shortstop, and it gets away. And here comes another pair. So very costly error there. And two more runs around to score. So the Clockers on top. 4-2 here in the top of the second. We're going to get a meeting on the hill. Coach Anderson out with some words of encouragement. The wind, as you can hear, really picking up, and you better believe that's going to have an impact on this game. It'll certainly have an impact where the ball goes, and perhaps have an impact on some of those infield plays like we just saw. So you got Oliver LaRue at the plate, dangerous hitter. Two outs here in the top of the second. Clockers have claimed the lead. Here's the 0-1 outside, 1-1. Wind up and the pitch, just outside. Set the deal, and this is going to take a couple trickles up the right side. Throw over to the pitcher, and they'll get the third out. And that will wrap up the top of the second, 4-2 game. We head to the bottom of the second on HCAM. back. We are set for the bottom of the second. Hillers going to look to get that offense going once again. At the plate, you have Carter Moore, the shortstop. And he is going to get a piece of this one, and that will end up being a hit for Moore. And he is safely aboard at first base, and now Gabe Cavazzo steps to the plate. Radica on the mound for Ashland, and so far the story of this game has been the bats. Both teams getting some early offense going. And this is hit in the air, foul out of play. Another foul ball there. Look out, parked cars. Always a dangerous area to park in when the baseball team's in action. And he's going to get a good piece of this one to right field, but it's going to be dropped. It'll drop in, and everybody's going to be safe. So a nice piece of hitting there. And the Hillers now with 2 on and no outs. Big opportunity to do something here. And he gets a piece of this one, and it looks like they'll get the out at first. The runners on do advance. Actually, no, they pulled him off the bag, pulled him off the bag. Everybody's safe. Just able to beat it out. So now you got Moore on third base, Cavazzo up to second, Ryan Lang to first. And now it's top of the order time for the Hillers, dangerous part of the order. And Petroli at the plate. Boy, what a season he had with the bat last year. Takes that one inside, 1-0. So now you got Moore on third base, Cavazzo up to second, Ryan Lang to first. And now it's top of the order time for the Hillers. Dangerous. Wind up and the pitch. Hit high in the air towards center field and caught. Runner from third is going to tag. He's around to score. And the runner from second moves up to third. It's a 1-run game. Matt Pedroli getting it done. A sacrifice RBI flyout. Now stepping in, you will have Calvin Mahan, the catcher. Now we'll take you through this Hiller batting order. Unfortunately, enjoyed the broadcast a little bit late. I was trying to get the softball stream up and running, but that is running, and good news in that game. They're in the second inning, and the Hillers have a 5-2 lead, and it looks like they're still hitting with one out. So Hiller softball rallying. And a throw to first. He picked him off. He's going to try to take second. Did he get there? Yes, he did. Kind of shocking to see the runner at third stay. You figured he might try to score. But Cavazo stays at third. Lang does advance up to second. So we'll take you through the Hiller batting lineup. Matt Pajoli, center fielder, hits first. Calvin Mahan up now, hitting second in the lineup. He's the catcher. Noah Kramus, pitcher, hitting third. Michael Sullivan, first baseman, hitting cleanup. Daniel Davenport, right fielder, hitting fifth. Trevor Hodney, third baseman, hitting sixth. And looks like they just weren't thinking of bat. Trevor Hodney, third baseman, is hitting sixth. Connor Moore, shortstop, hitting seventh. Gabe Cavazo, second baseman, hitting eighth. Ryan Lang in left field, hitting ninth. Line up and the pitch. There's a strike. Set to deliver. I believe there was a ball there. Oh, they got the strikeout, so Hodney strikes out. And then we got Noah Kramus stepping in. So you got 2 outs in the inning. Noah Kramus looking to try to drive in some runs. Line up and the pitch. There's a strike. A 4-3 game here. Hiller's trailing Ashland by 1. We're in the bottom of the second. Line up and the pitch. And this is hit in the air towards center field and caught. And that'll wrap up the second inning. So the Hillers leave a couple stranded. And we are heading to the top of the third, a 4-3 Ashland lead, live on HCAM. Top of the third inning. This is hit on the ground. Over to the shortstop. And they'll get the out 6-3. So Michael Schreiber, the shortstop, goes down. One away. Coming up to the plate, Jared Grunbaum, the left fielder. And he's going to get a piece of this. Right back to the shortstop he goes, throw over. And there's out number 2. So they're testing that arm of Moore a little bit, but no problem. Second straight, 6-3 out. And we got a new pitcher out there for the Hillers. That is Landon Fitzgibbon on the mound. So Landon Fitzgibbon taking over on the hill this inning. He is the second pitcher of the game for the Hillers. You had Chris Bradica, who got the start. And this is going to be on the ground, up the middle, throw over. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, they go. 3 straight, 6-3 groundouts. And that is going to send this game to the bottom of the third. And a correction on that pitcher. Chris Braddock was the starter for Ashland. It was Noah Kramus who started for the Hillers. So Landon Fitzgibbon comes in and forces 3 straight groundouts. And we'll move right along to the bottom of the third here on HCAM.
HCAM programming is supported by our viewers, thank you, and by Phipps Insurance Agency, representing companies such as MapFree Insurance. Their family-owned independent agency is deeply rooted in the communities they serve and offer time-tested insurance products to fit individual needs. Since 1950, Phipps Insurance specializes in home, auto, business, condo, and renters insurance.
Bottom of the third inning. At the plate, you got Michael Sullivan. 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up for the Hillers. Sullivan follows that one away. Well, Michael Sullivan, the big power hitter in the lineup. He'll be relied on quite heavily this season. Line up in the pitch. And that is going to be a called strike. They're going to say he did go around. So that's going to make the count 2-2. This one is hit high in the air, right side, and caught just in front of the fence. So Turncliffe going to go pretty far back to make the catch on that one. That'll be the first out. Now you got Daniel Davenport stepping to the plate. Hiller softball update. They're in the bottom of the third. Hiller bats getting going again. They lead at 6-2. Line up and the pitch. Davenport getting a piece of that one, fouls it into the backstop. 1-1. Tom Nappy, happy to be with you on the call. Our crew for baseball and softball. We got Dave McCarthy on baseball, Denise Ondaki on softball. And this is going to be strike three. The throw down to first has got away, and they'll get the out. 2 away. So now you're going to have Trevor Hodney coming to the plate. So strikeout and 1-3 throw down. There's a strike. Well, Bradica's still in there for Ashland. Clockers, they have more of the traditional pitching style where they have, if they like the starter to go 4 to 5 innings, and then they bring in the setup relief, and then of course the closer. That pitch just outside. The Hillers, they're more of a committee pitching team, pitching by committee. The good thing about the committee pitching style is it keeps everybody fresh. Because there is a pitch limit for what you're allowed during the week. But both ways have their ups and downs. The Hillers do have warm-up action, so we could see their third pitcher next inning. But with the inning and the amount of pitches that the last pitcher threw for the Hillers, Fitzgibbon, the 3 straight groundouts, you'd think they'd keep him in maybe one more inning. But we'll have to wait and see. 2-2 the count. Here on Hodney, the third baseman. He's 0 for 1 so far today. And there's strike 3. They'll go down just like that. We are cruising along to the top of the 4th. It's a 4-3 Clockers lead here on HCAM. Well, we get a ground out on the first hitter of the fourth. That was Montross. So Montross grounding out. That was Cortree Montross. And that will bring up Grady Clark. And that throw got away a little bit. And was he able to tag the bag? It looks like he might have been. So a couple quick outs here. That was a 5-3 ground out. We got Austin Turncliffe to the plate. Ninth hitter in the lineup and right fielder. The first hitter of the fourth. You can hear that wind frequently occurring, and we'll have another game for you tonight. I'll tell you about that in a moment, a swing and a miss. We'll have Hiller boys lacrosse tonight as they take on Westwood. Morgan Donahue expected to join me for the call of that game. Should be a great battle here tonight. So a busy day here on this opening Monday of the spring season. Of course, action got started last Thursday and Friday for some of the teams, with the majority of the teams around the TVL getting started up here today. Pitch outside. 2-2 the count. So here's Fitzgibbon out there, and he has not thrown a whole lot of pitches since he's come in. He's gotten very quick outs. So we'll see if that trend's able to continue. Hiller softball update. It's now 7-2 in that game. And they are entering the bottom of the fourth. Hiller's on top in softball, and Hiller baseball going to try to string together some runs to get back on top here as that one's fouled away. Count remains 2-2. This Hiller team bringing back a good amount of talent from last year's roster. They had a relatively young team last year, but still had a nice run. And look at that, there's strike three. What an inning. 1, 2, 3, they go. Great work on the mound by Landon Fitzgibbon as we head to the bottom of the fourth. You are tuned in to Hopkinton Hiller's Varsity Baseball on HCAM.
HCAM programming is supported by viewers like you and by Beaumain Pizza Bar and Grill. For over 25 years, Beaumain has been serving great quality food for the whole family, featuring hand-tossed pizzas, paninis, pasta dishes, and a variety of unique appetizers. Enjoy a casual dining room or relax at a comfortable bar with signature cocktails, fine wines, and 16 beers on tap. Beaumain Pizza Bar and Grill. Great food, great drinks, and something for everyone.
Bottom of the fourth inning. Hillers looking to get something going after another 1-2-3 defensive inning in the top of the inning. Get Carter Moore at the plate. Carter Moore, the shortstop. Then you'll have Gabe Cafazzo, Ryan Lang, 7, 8, and 9 hitters. That pitch in there for a strike, 0-2. Make that a 1-2 count. Well, Chris Bradica still out there for Ashland in his fourth inning of work. A ball there. It's going to make it a 2-2 count. Leg lift and the pitch. Ooh, did he get him? Yes, he did. Nice pitch there. 4 strike 3. 1 away. Gabe Cafazzo set to step in. Gabe Cafazzo for 1 so far today. Line up and the pitch. Breaking pitch. It didn't quite break the way he wanted. Ball 1. Set to deliver. So far today. Pitch a little outside there. I don't know. They get a strike on that one. 1-2. Chris, we have a bit of a distant view, and with that sun glaring, a little tough to see here, but certainly looks great on TV. That's the important thing. Gets a piece of that one and stays alive. To stay alive. 1-2. Leg lift and the pitch. Hit high in the air, right side, foul territory, ranging over to make the catch, the first baseman. And there's 2 away. Yeah, LaRue had to battle the sun to corral that one in. But able to get under it and grab the second out. Now we got Ryan Lang stepping to the plate. Wind up and the pitch. Swing and looks like you got a tip on it. 0-1. Wind up and the pitch. A little high there. That'll bring the count to 1-1. Pitch just a tad outside, 2-1. Lang is 1 for 1 so far today. And this is hit in the air right side and caught by the right fielder. Well, he had to backpedal a little bit to make that catch, but nicely done. And 1-2-3 they go. We are heading to the top of the 5th. With Ashland leading 4-3 on HCAM. Top of the 5th inning. Top of the order. Due up for Ashland. Fionn Connery, the third baseman, stepping in. Takes that one inside. He's 0 for 2 so far today. So Coach Anderson leaving Fitzgibbon out there for another inning. He's only thrown 16 pitches. Inside there. And with the fact he's only thrown 16 pitches, why not leave him in? Certainly still very well reserved as this is hit up the right side. That's going to trickle through. And a bit of a mishap there, I would say, on the second baseman. Slight bobble. So that is going to put the first runner on in a couple innings for Ashland. Now you got Oliver LaRue set to step in. And he's looking for the bunt there. It looks like that one ended up foul. So you have Connery reach on the error by, I believe it was Gabe Fazo. And now you're going to have a base hit here as that's going to drop into right field. Lead runner Connery heading to third. And the throw in, it's a good one all the way to home plate. That probably prevented a run. That is going to be a stand-up double for Oliver LaRue. That'll bring up Chris Bradica, still no outs in the inning. And the Ashland Bats making a little bit of noise here. Wind up and the pitch. And this is going to be a base hit into right field as it's going to roll almost all the way to the fence. And 2 runs are in to score. And that is an RBI double for Chris Bradica, helping his own cause here. That's his second hit of the game, and the Clockers leading 6-3. Connery and LaRue both around to score. And now you got Michael Schreiber at the plate. There should be a power supply.
On it?
Like,
I mean, is it plugged in?
yeah, it's plugged in. How's it low? Is the power not going? Checking at second, runner slides back. Fitzgibbon looks to deliver to Schreiber. Runner on second. 2 runs have already scored. Checking at second and the runner back safe. No outs in the inning. Working from the stretch. He winds and deals. And that pitch a little bit outside. Wind up and the pitch. And that is fouled away. So strikeout there. Apologies, folks. Had to address a technical issue. You might have heard us talking in the background there. Fitzgibbon set to deal. Turns towards second. Risky move there. You have that late turn towards the bag. So you got Grunbaum at the plate. Wind up and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Takes a look at second and delivers. And this is going to be hit up the middle, picked up by the shortstop. Throw to first. They get the out. That's a big out. 6-3 out. And the best thing about that out, it did not allow Bradica to advance. So the runner stays at second. And now you got Ian McCoggin stepping to the plate. Hiller softball update. It's now at 11-2. Hiller softball lead. They are really getting those bats going here on this opening day. And he's going to get a piece of this one. This will land into right field, and that is going to be an RBI single. So another run in for the Clockers. And McCoggin getting the job done. Now you have Cordy Montress stepping to the plate. Strike. The Clockers certainly happy to add on to their lead. Big run there. Driven across with 2 outs. Checking at first, runner back safe. by McCoggan. He's having a good day, 2 for 3 with a run and an RBI. And there's strike 3, 4 out number 3, but not before the Clockers plate 3 runs, and they lead it 7-3 as we head to the bottom of the 5th on HCAM. Welcome back. Bottom of the 5th inning. Hillers with some work to do to try to get back in this game. Tom Nappy on the call. Dave McCarthy on camera. Swing and a miss there. And out there for Ashland. Looks like they keep Braddock on the mound. They'll continue to battle it out, and you know, a bit of rough going in the first couple innings, but he's kind of calmed the game down a bit. And the Hillers, as Matt Pedroli flies out, have not been able to get much going. So Matt Pedroli flying out. Now you got Calvin Mahan at the plate, the catcher. That'll be the pitcher's spot. We'll see if Landon Fitzgibbon gets to the plate or if we'll have a pinch hitter. That's fouled into the backstop. 0-1 the count. Set to deliver. High and outside. One count. Time called. Line up and the pitch. And did that get in there? I believe it did. That's a strike. One and two, and this is going to be hit up the middle. That's going to trickle in for a base hit. And a nice piece of hitting by the catcher, Calvin Mahan, with his first hit of the season. He's aboard with a one-out single. And now you got Landon Fitzgibbon stepping to the plate in the pitcher's spot. Hillers do have warm-up action. So it looks like we'll likely have a new pitcher next inning for Hopkinton. Braddock is set to deliver. Hit high in the air, foul towards the parking lot. Off the bus it goes. Fortunately, they have baseball-proof buses here. Well, hopefully that's the case. Runner on first, one out. And it looks like it was a called strike around the outer corner. There's that wind whipping away. Windy Monday. That is fouled off. 0-2 the count. And this is going to be hit in the air right side, and that is going to drop. That is a fair ball, and it's going to be 2 on. So some back-to-back singles for the Hillers. 2 on with 1 out. And now you got Michael Sullivan, the cleanup man, coming to the plate. Big opportunity here. Hillers softball up by 10 in the bottom of the 5th. They're leading 12-2. Wind up and the pitch. Swing and a miss. I'll tell you, it looks like the Hillers softball team can have another great season. I think the Hillers baseball team will as well. Both teams with a lot of great returning talent this year. Wind up and the pitch. Check swing, couldn't hold. There's a strike. I'll make the count 0-2. We'll have Hiller boys lacrosse coming up later tonight. 6:45 start time. Hillers welcome in Westwood. And there is strike 3. Goes down looking. 2 away. Big strikeout there for Chris Bradica and Ashland. That'll bring up Daniel Davenport. Coach Matt Messer back at the helm for the Clockers. And he's done a great job with that program. Milford alum. Set to deliver. There's a ball. One and 0 the count. Hillers with 2 on, 2 outs. Wind up and the pitch. Ooh, a little high there. He winds and deals. That pitch just a little high in the zone. The count now. And it looks like he got a strike in there. So this is Andrew Bauschman at the plate. So pinch hitter hitting in the spot of the right fielder, Daniel Davenport. Fouls that one away. Battle continues, full count. And he got a piece, but into the catcher's glove it goes. That's a strikeout. There's out number 3. We move along to the top of the 6th. Clockers leading 7-3. We are live on HCAM. Into the top of the sixth we go, a 7-3 Ashland lead. Clockers looking to grab a big win here in their season opener over the Hillers. Hopkinton, of course, they have other plans. Wind up and the pitch. Swing and a miss. As actually have a pinch hitter for Austin Turncliffe. You got Riley pitching for the Hillers. So third pitcher of the game. And this is Pasalacqua, excuse me, is the hitter. And Pasalacqua is going to hit this one up the middle, throw to first, not a problem. That is a 6-3 out. One away, and that was Pasalacqua in the ninth spot where Turncliffe was hitting. And now you got top of the order, Fionn Connery to the plate. Patrick Riley on the hill for the Hillers. Third pitcher of the game, and it was a pretty solid couple innings of work by Landon Fitzgibbon. Did run into a bit of trouble in the fifth inning, as Ashland ended up plating 3 runs. 2-2 the count. And ball down low there. That's going to fill it up. Line up and the pitch. And there is strike 3. Got him looking. 2 away. Oliver LaRue due up next. Set to deliver. Line up and the pitch. A little high there. Wind up and the pitch. I believe that was a called strike. 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. The Hillers had a habit last year of coming back late in games. We'll see if they're able to do that here this evening. I know our cameraman Dave certainly wants as much baseball as possible. The 2-2. And this is ripped up the right side, and that is going to get through for a hit. 2-out single for Oliver LaRue, and that'll bring up the pitcher's spot. We'll see if Chris Bradica steps to the plate. I'd imagine he will. He's having a good day at the plate. And this is going to be back to the pitcher. Throw to first. They get the out. So that will be out number 3. A 6-3 out, and we head to the bottom of the 6th. Hillers trailing 7-3 on HCAM.
HCAM Sports is supported by our viewers and by the dentist at Hopkinton. The dentist at Hopkinton provides services including comprehensive dental care, same-day crowns, facial aesthetics, periodontal care, cosmetic dentistry, and implant dentistry. The dentist at Hopkinton is located at 77 Main Street and online at hopdent.com.
Bottom of the sixth inning. Hillers trying to get the bats going. New pitcher on the mound for Ashland. Got Michael Schreiber moving over from shortstop, taking over on the mound. Chris Bradica moves to first base. Grunbaum moves from left field to second base. And Oliver LaRue moves from first base to center field. So all kinds of position changes for Ashland. And Grady Clark, he moved from second base to shortstop. And then you got Grunbaum at second base. As this is going to be right back to the pitcher. Throw to first, not a problem. One away. Connor Moore due up next, the shortstop. Tom Nappy, happy to be with you on the call here for this opening game. Dave McCarthy on camera. That pitch outside, 1-0. Connor Moore 0 for 2 so far today. Takes that one inside. 2-0 the count. Excuse me, 1-1 the count. Now 2-1. Schreiber set to deal. Hit high in the air towards left center. Wind could make it difficult, but the catch will be made. Turncliffe able to corral it in, 2 away. Gabe Cafazzo due up next for the Hillers. Line up and the pitch. Breaking pitch there. Oh, and 1 the count. Did get in there for a strike. Ball 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Make that 2-1. Gabe Cafazzo 0 for 2 so far today. And that is fouled off. Two and two, the count. Hit high in the air towards right field. That'll drop in for a base hit. And it's a 2-out single for Gabe Cavazzo. Ryan Lang due up next. Hillers looking to get something going. Well, last season, the Hillers, they had quite a few 2-out rallies. We'll see if that trend continues into this season. Lineup and the pitch. And he bunts that one, slow roller up the middle, picked up by the pitcher, throw to first, they get the out. 1-3, 4-out number 3, and we are heading to the top of the 7th, a 7-3 Ashland Clockers lead here on HCAM. This program is brought to you in part by TVLSports.net. You can view the standings, stories, pictures, highlights, and more about the 12 teams in the Tri-Valley League at TVLSports.net. TVLSports.net is an independent news and media website reporting on the TVL and is not associated with the MIAA, Tri-Valley League, or any town or school. Top of the 7th inning. Hillers trying to get through this inning and then be down to their final 3 outs and try to string together a rally. We've seen some crazy things in the Hopkinton-Ashland Hopkinton-Ashland rivalry, so perhaps we will today. So at the play right now, you got Bradica. Bradica's hitting in the 3rd spot. So, yeah, had a little miscalculation last inning. It was actually Oliver LaRue who got that last out. So now Bradica puts this one in the air, and he's going to be aboard with a base hit. He's going to turn towards second, throw to second, and wow, he slides in. And they call him just safe. They're going to say the tag didn't quite get him. So that is a double for Chris Bradica. Well, that was a daring move. Trying to move up to second. But he got there and was able to slide past the tag. And now you got Michael Schreiber to the plate. Another base hit here by Schreiber. Run trying to score. Throw in. And he did not get him. So that is going to be an RBI double for Michael Schreiber and add some insurance for the Clockers, who now take an 8-3 lead. Well, they certainly like to have some insurance. And now you got Jared Grunbaum to the plate. Grunbaum 0 for 3 so far today. And this one is hit in the air and caught. And nice job by Riley making the catch. And on the hit by Schreiber, they actually scored that in error. So that run that scored will be an unearned run. So now it's 1 on, 1 out. And you got Ian McCoggin to the plate. That pitch up high. Set to deliver. There's a strike. Ball there. Wind up and the pitch. A little inside. Riley will step off the mound. Schreiber on second, 1 out. Another run has scored this inning for the Clockers. Wind up and the pitch. And it's a walk. So that'll put 2 on with 1 out. Ian McCoggin draws the walk. And now you have Cortry Montress to the plate. Cordy Montress is 0 for 2 so far today. Wind up and the pitch. And this is up the middle. Takes a couple hops. Picked up by the short, flip to second for 1. Throw to first. And they double them up. 6-4-3. Double play. And we will head to the bottom of the 7th. It's an 8-3 Ashland Clockers lead on HCAM.
HCAM programming is supported by viewers like you and by Western Nurseries. Since 1923, Western Nurseries has been rooted in a passion for plants and community. The family business has grown from its beginnings in Weston to become a trusted name across Massachusetts. Western Nurseries offers one of the area's best selections of hardy landscape-sized plants, quality gardening and hardscape products, and expert advice you can trust. With locations throughout the region and over a century of experience, Western Nursery continues to help communities grow beautifully.
Bottom of the 7th inning. Hillers down their final 3 outs. And they are hoping to get those bats rolling. It is top of the order. Matt Pedroli at the plate. Michael Schreiber remains on the hill for Ashland. And he gets a piece of this one in the air, drops into right field, and that's a base hit. So a nice single to get the inning started for Pedroli. That'll bring up Calvin Mahan, the catcher. That pitch outside, got away from the catcher, and Pedroli advances to second. So a wild pitch there to allow Pedroli to advance. Lights starting to come on here at the turf field, and they'll stay on for quite a while into the evening. Is coming up at 6:45 or so. We will have the Hiller Boys Lacrosse game as they take on Westwood in a TVL large matchup. Home opener, season opener for Boys Lacrosse. We are excited for what should be a great matchup. Wind up and the pitch. And that is going to get away from the catcher. Up to third goes Pedroli. You wonder what the leash is with Schreiber. I don't believe there's been any warm-up action for Ashland. But things getting a little bit interesting here in the bottom of the 7th. That pitch inside. You know the count. And that is going to be a walk. It's going to be runners on first and third now. Could the Hillers be eyeing a big comeback here on opening day? Noah Kramus set to step in. First pitch a ball, or actually they did call that one a strike, excuse me, 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Michael Sullivan due up next. Hit high in the air towards right field and caught. Runner from third is going to tag. He'll come around to score. So it's a sacrifice RBI flyout for Kramus. It's now an 8-4 game. Now you got Michael Sullivan coming up to the plate. Michael Sullivan 1 for 3 today. Well, the Hiller softball team getting a win today. So they took care of business against Ashland. 14-2 was the final in that one. They won via mercy. That's fouled away. 0-2 the count. 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 0-2 the cou lines. He deals, and this is ripped up the middle. Jumping up, making the catch is the second baseman, and they double him up. And that will be your ball game. A double play to end the game. And the Ashland Clockers are going to take it. 8-4 is your final. And a good win if you're an Ashland Clockers fan. They had some nice defense in the field. Their pitching got through a tough Hiller lineup, and they get the victory here on opening day, 8-4. Ashland scores 8 runs on 10 hits, committing 3 errors. Hillers score 4 runs on 6 hits, committing 4 errors. Ashland Clockers take the victory over Hopkinton by a final of 8-4. And for the Hillers pitching-wise, Noah Kramus went 2 innings, gave up 4 hits, 4 runs, none of which were earned. Landon Fitzgibbon pitched 3 innings, giving up 3 hits, 3 runs, only 1 of them earned. And you also had Pat Riley in there, pitched 2 innings, give up 3 hits and an earned run. And for Ashland, got to give credit to Chris Braddock. He pitched 5 solid innings, giving up 4 hits, 3 runs, only 1 earned run. And then Michael Schreiber came in for 2 innings, giving up 2 hits and 1 run, which was earned, as Ashland takes the win 8-4. That is going to wrap up our opening day baseball broadcast. Stick around in a few minutes. At about 6:45, we'll have Hiller Boys Lacrosse taking on Westwood. But for Dave McCarthy on camera, Denise Untaki, who's helping us out as well with the softball game, I'm Tom Nappy. We thank you for watching Hopkinton Hiller Baseball on HCAM. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you again soon. Goodbye, everybody.